Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all well and have had a good week. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Magnificent Mags channel. We made it to the weekend. Yes, it's Friday and it's match day again tomorrow down at Leeds United for the tea time kickoff at Ellen Road. Now, I was going to say out there today, it's a lot more overcast and cold, which it still is, but the rain's just started. So that's got us itching for my holiday even more next Friday. This time next Friday, I'll have landed in Sevilla and I've got a couple of day trips planned as well to Jerez de la Frontera and Cordoba. So I am looking forward to that. It's going to be 36 degrees according to the forecast all week. So I'm going to enjoy every last bit of sunshine before I come back to a very cold northeast. I think we've had a good summer. But while summer's on its way out and autumn's on its way in, someone else who's on his way in, yes, confirmed last night. I said it in my late video after 9 p.m, didn't I, that Nick Woltemade agreed a deal of £65 million plus £4 million in add-ons. So that's roughly, 74.9, around 75 million euros, or when you go to it with add-ons, 79 point something, 80 million euros. So yeah, it's a club record fee, and we're seeing him on the quayside checking into the hotel. I think it's called Dakota. I've seen the video going around. I was only opposite it for the exhibition, the road to Wembley last week, and I saw it over the river from the Millennium Bridge, but I forgot its name already. I'm sure it's the Dakota, but honestly, yeah, you can tell I'm going to be away for my 38th birthday. Yeah, I'm losing another brain cell. But yes, Nick Woltemade's on his way, and we're signing him from Stuttgart. Unfortunately, he's missed the deadline. It's not been announced, unless it's announced later that he was registered before the deadline, and we're waiting on the announcement video. But it was reported that he got in at 9:30 this morning, so very unlikely. So in today's video, I just want to talk about some pros and cons, what he brings to us tactically, how he'll fit in Eddie Howe's system. Also want to talk about a departure, also injury news from Eddie Howe's press conference this morning, and a few England call-ups. So let's get underway. Yes, welcome back to the Magnificent Mags channel, everyone. As the rain's thundering down and I'm in the safety of indoors, if you do like my video, before I get underway, at the end, please subscribe. Thank you so much to every single one of you who got me up to 402 subscribers. It's great to see the channel growing. And please like all my other socials too, and my friends at Magpie 24/7, Magpie Ultras, and NUFC 360. I'm also, if you're part of the Fan Analysis app, you'll find my opinions and match ratings on there too. But yes, let's get into today's video. So firstly, I just want to say congratulations to Dan Burn, Anthony Gordon and Tino Livramento. They've all been called up for the upcoming qualifiers for the World Cup next year in America, for England against Andorra and Serbia. So massive congratulations to our three Magpies. And also other Magpie who's now at Nottingham Forest, Elliot Anderson. Well deserved. Absolutely brilliant to see Anderson called up to the England squad. Obviously, this week we've seen the departure of the Shermanator, Matt Targett. If you watched American Pie when you were my age, you'll be aware who that is. But yeah, Targett's joined Borough on loan. Hopefully didn't get lost on the A19 on the way down there. Big shout out to Big Frank there. Now also when I get on to injury and suspension news from Eddie Howe's press conference this morning, he's confirmed that they haven't appealed against Anthony Gordon's red card, which is correct. It would have been a frivolous appeal. It was a red. So yes, he'll miss the next 3 domestic games. But encouraging injury news, he has said that Joe Linton, it is confirmed that he only is going to miss tomorrow night. He will be back after the break. Fabian Schär, they've followed the concussion protocols and he's actually available for tomorrow. And also Sandro Tonali, he said that he has been in the gym this week. And while he is 50-50 for tomorrow, he's training as hard as he can and he's desperate to play. So we could even see Sandro back in the midfield tomorrow. So that'll be fantastic. Transfer news coming out just before there. It's reports in Italy, but they're saying that we're apparently close to a loan with an obligation deal for Fratesi from Inter Milan. So that's very encouraging. Can you imagine a midfield of Bruno, Joe Linton, Tonali, Ramsey and Fratesi? That's, oh my God. It's the thought of that, of those 5 in there. But then it makes you think, what will happen? Will we loan Miley out and keep Willock? Or does that mean Willock's on his way out? But we'll wait and see if there's anything concrete in that one. And obviously we're waiting to see if we get any encouragement on Yohan Wissa before Monday's deadline, because he's going to be the Wilson replacement, while Woltemade is the Isak replacement. I'm expecting to see movement now. Liverpool come in and then he just goes, and we can all move on from this tedious, boring saga because we're all sick of talking about him. But anyway, time to move on to the most important news, because I covered the Champions League draw last night. We'll find out more on that tomorrow, so I'll come back with an additional video when we find out the actual dates and everything and the kickoff times. But yeah, Nick Woltemade, the giant 6'6" striker. We have agreed a deal, £65 million plus £4 million in add-ons from VfB Stuttgart. And I've noted some stats down here because, look, people are saying we're overpaying for him, but look, the way the market is at the moment, of course we're overpaying for him. Because his goals record, we're not paying for that. It's not the greatest, but we are paying more for potential, it seems. And I've noted his goals down here, so I just want to talk you through them. So what we have is he started his career at Werder Bremen. 2010 to 2020 he was in the youth team, then he got promoted to the senior team. In that time, 2020 to 2024, now he's only got 2 goals in 48 games, so that's not a good record. And then in Werder Bremen 2 in 2022, he's had 2 games and no goals for them. Then he was loaned out in the season we finished 4th, 2022-23, to Liga 3 to Elversberg. He scored 10 and 31 there, so that was a good return, 1 in 3. And then 2024, he went on a free transfer from Werder Bremen to VfB Stuttgart, the team we've just signed him from. And his record there reads as 17 goals in 34 games in all competitions last season. Now, they did beat Arminia Bielefeld in Berlin in the DFB Pokal Cup final back in May, 4-2. He scored 5 goals on the way to them winning that. That was their 4th DFB Pokal title, which is the equivalent to our FA Cup. And his overall career for his goals stands at 29 goals in 119 games. So 29 times 4 is 116, so it's roughly a 1 in 4 goal record. So as I've said, we're not paying for his goal return, we are paying for his potential, which is massive. But you know, Eddie Howe said in his interviews before, look, he has to scout the player himself, see how he fits into his system, because he has to coach him day to day. So Eddie Howe's definitely seen something in him to sign him in. The fact I said last night that Bayern Munich have went in with 3 bids for him, Stuttgart have stood firm. They went, no, we'll rate him at this, we'll rate him at this. Bayern Munich have went, we're not going that high. Same with other Premier League clubs, I don't know who they were. But they've said we're not going that high. Stuttgart stood firm. We've come in with what they wanted. Yes, we probably took a risk, but yep, look, we're paying for potential. And look, if you go and buy his goals record for the under-21s, he scored 13 goals in 18 games for them. So that's impressive. And he got his senior call-up in 2025, and he's played 2 games, but not yet scored for the German senior team. But yeah, he was the under-21s top scorer as well, I've noted, going when they made their run all the way to the semi-finals. Now, I must stress here, as I said earlier in the video, he's not a replacement for Callum Wilson. He is going to be Alexander Isak's replacement. Look, we're all sick of Isak, as I've said just before there. We just want him gone. We'll get Wissa in. Or it might be that we'll actually take a risk and let Isak go first. Then we've got the money to go, look, Brentford, can we just come to a deal here? He wants to go, he wants to move to where you want the money. Can we just give you this? We'll wait and see. But yeah, I hope Wissa will be the Wilson replacement, but Woltemade is going to be the Isak replacement, and we can all move on from this. Now, he can play as a number 9 or as a number 10, but normally I am, because he, what I've seen of him from prominent journalists, what they've talked about him, the video clips that have been shared online last night and this morning, I am surprised, because when you see a big man like that, I think of someone like Peter Crouch or Nikola Zigic. Now, yes, they had decent shots on them, very good in the air, but you normally associate someone that tall for being slow, sluggish. They might hold it up with their strength, but Woltemade, he surprises me a lot, because yes, he's going to be a focal point that we're missing. If he'd been there for the Villa and Liverpool games, he would have been that focal point we were clearly missing when we were getting crosses and balls in. So he'll address that issue. But he also likes to drift out left. So that'll work in terms of where you can interchange with Gordon or Barnes, whoever's out there. It'll likely be Barnes in the first few games after the break when Gordon's out. But they can interchange to give the fullback something to think about. But yeah, he likes to go in off the left, and then he likes to dribble, and that surprised me a lot. For a 6'6" in short, 6'7", some are reporting man, he's got a good first touch. He likes to run at his man with pace and power, drop the shoulder, and as Stuttgart fans labelled him, Messi. I mean, if he's half as good as Messi, we've got a hell of a player on our hands, because Messi's the greatest footballer of all time, in my opinion. And you know what? Just he's got us excited because he's got a good first touch. He's that focal point where he likes to hold it up, and then he's got good link-up play. He can flick it onto his man. Like I said, he can come in off the left, play as a 9 or a 10. He can turn his man. Now, apparently, he's not, in terms of agility, he's not the quickest at turning, but he compensates that with his power, and then he can roll his man. So while he might be able to turn quickly, he literally just uses his brute strength just to turn him, and then once he builds up a head of steam, he'll run at his man and try and take them all on. And for under 23 strikers, these stats are seen are fantastic. For goals and assists, he's third. Touches in the opposition box, second. And offensive duels, he's first. So that's very, very exciting. Now, how will he suit our style of play? Well, our style of play is high energy, high pressing, win the ball back, hit teams on transition with directness and pace. And Woltemade, he can mix it up, because we'll also like to put in balls from wide areas. Well, obviously, when you set-piece coach, we've seen a few of those ideas in action in the first two games. But when you've got, like, say, whether it's Trippier or Tino or Murphy on the right, or Elanga on the left, it could be Barnes or Gordon. We get the balls in there, we can really utilise his height to beat a lot of players. And we're going to be such a threat at set-pieces with, like, giants in there, like Joe Linton, him, Dan Burn and that. So that's really exciting. But also we can mix it up. So he could drop deep. As I've said, he likes to hold it up, good link-up play, laying the ball off. So he could drop deep, and then you've got runners bombing beyond him in Gordon and Elanga. I'm using those two because they're our quickest wingers. They're likely our first-team starters. And then he can play them in. So he's got lots of attributes to his game where we can mix it up. And yes, I know I've said he's not the greatest finisher. And not every player is the finished article of it. Isak wasn't the finished article, certainly, when he come in. And look what Eddie Howe's done to him. So yes, his goal scoring record isn't the best, but again, Eddie Howe loves to bring players in, and he'll polish them up and turn them from a rough diamond into a polished diamond. So yeah, lots of excitement there in terms of that. And you know what as well, some people were criticising him last night, saying oh, he's missed a few chances, but you know what, credit to him, he's still getting in those positions to be there and have the chance. I'd rather a player being in those positions and taking chances at goal. And yes, they might go wide, the keeper might save it, but I'd be more worried if he wasn't getting in there, because that would scream to me a lack of confidence in himself. So the fact that he was getting in there is a massive tick for me. And the chances will come. Shearer went through a drought, he said, before Euro 96. And then as soon as the first goal went in, the rest followed. And other things to his game, it has been reported that, which is important in an Eddie Howe team, he does track back and he does press. So he's got good work rate, so he will suit us well. Obviously, Eddie Howe might want time to bed him in. The international break probably comes at the perfect time, as I don't know if he's been called up to the Germany national team. But the main thing is he's going to be a focal point. And the German press have said that in some games he'll just have like some fantastic games in a row, and then he might be a bit streaky. But again, with his age, yes, I know he's not really young, he's 23, but again, with Eddie Howe and we're coaching team working on him, will improve all areas of his game. And the fact he's such a sought after property in Europe, and we've managed to bag him, like, as well, it was just out of the darkness. Like I said in last night's video, the fact that he's come out of nowhere, because what's the problem been in this window? Everything's been leaked to the press. This one, Champions League draws going on, and then he's went from Stuttgart to the quayside in 4 or 5 hours. That's what I love. That's what we've done 2-3 seasons ago, and we've got like the likes of Bruno and Trippier and everyone and Botman, just signings out of nowhere hit you better. They just feel better because it's not dragged out and you're looking on your phone like this all the time going, oh, what's happening now? I love signings out of nowhere. So yes, it's exciting. We're finally going to have a focal point up front. I just hope the window can be finished off. If we get Fratesi and then Wissa in, this window, I did knock it down in my video with the Chronicle, shared a couple of weeks back, but you know what, I'll even give this window a 9 if we can get Fratesi and Wissa in, and then we can get Isak. Obviously losing Isak, it's never going to be a 10, but you know what, I think this window would be a 9. But yeah, exciting times ahead. It's been a good week. Champions League opponents confirmed. We've got Wolt-Age in. The 4 previous signings through the door already. We've got a favourable home cup draw against Bradford. So yeah, it's all looking up. And then I'm going on holiday next week, but I've got to go around the Metro Centre tonight. So yeah, it's not all positive. Anyway, that's it from me for now before I go off on a tangent. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. I'll be back again tomorrow with my preview for Leeds, what I expect. It'll just be a short one, 3-4 minutes. Just give my quick thoughts on what I think might happen. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.